Hello everybody, hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back today with another DIY for you, and today's DIY is going to be a couple of no carve pumpkins. So these pumpkins, I guess, are more kind of autumnal decor as opposed to Halloween pumpkins. So I'm thinking these are going to be a kind of either a centerpiece for a table or just something that you could pop on your mantelpiece or just introduce somewhere in your home to give it a bit of an autumnal vibe, if that's the thing. So before we get going with this DIY, if you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe. I'm posting new videos every single week, and if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you're wondering what this is behind me, this is actually the wreath that I made, and I'll link that video for you down below in case you haven't seen it already. This is a autumn wreath, and if you want to have a go at making this, it's really simple to do. Most of the stuff I found out and about in my local area in London, so I'm sure you'll be able to find all of this stuff wherever you are. And yeah, I just bought the mini pumpkin and the wreath base for that, so it's quite a simple one. So I'll link that video down below as well for you in case you want to try that one out as well. So the first pumpkin that I'm going to be doing is this bad boy that I picked up at the car boot sale. This was only 50p, and when I bought it, it was actually a lot greener, but it started to change colour. It's going a little bit more yellowy orange. And what I thought we'd do with this one is just add some kind of autumn pieces to the top of it. So I've got a tray of various things here that I've picked up. So all of these I've foraged essentially. So I've got some conkers, I've got some berries, I've got some leaves, and I've also got some autumn leaves here that I might use a few of those. And we've got some conker shells as well. So these are the casing that conkers fall off the tree with, and I've got a fun idea for these. So let's start off by preparing some of the conkers. So what I want to do with these is attach them using nails. So I've got some nails here, and all I'm going to do is add some hot glue to the back of the conker and sit the nails in, and that's just going to help us attach these to the pumpkin nice and easily. And next I'm going to take one of the Munchkin pumpkins. I picked these up in Lidl for £1 each, and I'm sure they're in most supermarkets at the moment. So I'm going to take a nail for this as well. And we'll leave that one to dry. So those are all drying now. They're all lined up and ready to go. The next idea I had was to turn these conker shells into little hedgehogs. So we need to give them some eyes, and to do that I thought we'd just add a dot of glue, and then afterwards I'll just colour it in. This could be a fun thing to do with kids. You could always add a little pin for the eyes as well, or attach some googly eyes and just make some little hedgehogs. I'm going to snip away the spikes at the front part, which is kind of like the face, I guess. Oh, we can give it a nose as well, actually. We'll do a glue dot for the nose. Trim that off. And then you just want to carefully do 2 dots for the eyes with the glue. And there's your little hedgehog. You could just do these on their own. If you do it with kids, I would recommend maybe just sticking on some googly eyes with some PVA glue. Be a bit safer than obviously using a hot glue gun. Right, so now we've got our pumpkin. I think we're gonna add some leaves first of all, as I've got these lying around with nothing else to do with. So let's just break those off. So these I've just collected, and I think they seem to work all right. I don't know how long they're gonna last for, but I'm not too worried, because if they die, you can just pull them off and add something else or switch things about. I mean, you could do this early autumn, and then you can always pull everything off and then still carve this in time for Halloween. You could also take all of the inside out before you even get going with this, so you're not wasting anything, and reattach the lid. But I didn't really have time for that today, I'm afraid. Just putting a bit of glue on each of the leaves to make sure they're going to stay nicely in position. So that looks quite good already. I mean, you could just literally leave it there, but you know, I just never know when to stop. So let's go on with, I've got some berries here, and these I've already wired together. I was going to add them to the wreath but didn't end up using them. So I'm going to attach those next with another blob of the glue. And you can wrap the wire around the stem just to keep it extra tight. Ow, do be careful with hot glue, it is hot. No surprises there. I've got all these, should we add a couple of those? Yeah, why not? And then to hold all of this in place, we're going to now add the Munchkin pumpkin. So I'm going to add some more hot glue around where we've put the nail. The nail's now nice and solid, but this is just going to hold it in place even better. And then we're going to push that nail into the stalk of the first pumpkin. Oh, that made a great noise. Did you hear that? So the nail's dried on all of the conkers, so we can just poke those straight in now, just to cover up any bits of glue or just any gaps where you fancy popping one in. So now onto our hedgehogs. We're just going to colour in with a Sharpie the nose and the eyes. So it's got beady little eyes, shiny little nose. That looks quite good, doesn't it? I like the fact that it's retained the little shine. So there's one. Three hedgehogs are now ready to go onto the pumpkin as well. So I'm just going to hot glue these straight on there. Sorry that I'm burning your bum, Mr. Hedgehog. I do apologise, but it will be worth it. So you're going to go there. This one in there. This one's gone. This one's on top. I'm just going to give him a bit more of an eye. I hope it looks like a hedgehog. I hope you can tell what that's meant to be. And there we have it. So that's our autumn pumpkin complete with conkers and little hedgehogs. So that's that one done. What do you reckon? So we've got the Munchkin pumpkin on the top, we've got the leaves, the berries, all the different colours going on, nice autumn tones, and we've got the little hedgehogs, which I do think kids would really enjoy making. So definitely have a go at making some of those with your children if you fancy that as well. And do be careful with berries. I forgot to say that in my wreath video, but if you've got any berries, obviously these may be poisonous, so do be careful if you've got young children around or any pets that may end up nibbling on those. Maybe use an alternative. You could use some artificial ones, or just keep them out of reach of pets and young children. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. So now we're going to move on to the next one. So for the next one, I thought we would do a succulent pumpkin. If you watch my channel, you will know that I love my succulents, and I've seen a few of these online. I thought they looked really cool, so we're going to have to sacrifice this one from the backdrop. This is the one we're going to be using. I picked this one up at the supermarket, and this was 79p, in case you're interested. And I've seen people do these with real succulents, where you just carve the top off, and then you can add in some grit and then some succulent potting mix, or some soil, and then you just plant in any succulents that you like. But I thought we'd use some artificial ones. I've got these ones here from Hobbycraft. So I've got a few different stems here. We've got some larger ones that come like that, and then we've got some smaller ones here as well. So the great thing about these is you can use them on all different kinds of DIYs and then repurpose them. So I used some of these at the handmade fair you may have seen when I was on stage having to upcycle a bag. So I used some of those for that. And now I'm going to use some for the pumpkin, and then once this is finished and once autumn's over, you could just take these off and do another project with them. You could make maybe a little terrarium, or you could make a succulent wreath, which is something that I'm thinking I might do in the future as well. So they're going to get more than one use, and they've got many different options that you could do with these. You've got miniature succulent gardens, you've got all kinds of things. So I'm just going to cut the labels off. This is a very simple one, really, really easy to do. So we just need to lose all of the labels. So I've got my scissors here. And now all I'm going to do is drill some holes into the pumpkin so we can poke the stems straight in. So I'm just going to use my Bosch drill. I don't want you to be put off if you don't want to use a drill for this. You can still do this DIY really easily. You could maybe just grab a nail and hammer it in and then just pull the nail out to make the holes, or use a skewer. Obviously be careful, or you could just glue them straight on. So always make these projects your own, and I'm sure you can come up with a way of doing it if you haven't got exactly what I've got lying around your home. So I guess we want one on the top, so I think I'm going to drill a hole smack down at the middle of this. Hopefully this is going to be okay. Not sure, I've never drilled this part of a pumpkin before. Oh, easy. That was so easy and satisfying. And then we just need to trim this down a bit. Obviously you don't want all that stem going in, but I'm going to leave some, because I think again for a future project it'll be useful to keep the stem on that. So I'm just going to poke this straight in. Okay, that's not going to go with this part on. So let's shred that bit off. Oops. I've been a bit tough with it and I've broken it. I'm going to have to glue that back together. I was trying to get this bit off. I'm gonna have to, oh no, oh gosh, oops. Right, you know that these don't always go to plan. What we're gonna do is we'll just glue that bit in. Let's just add a tiny bit of hot glue on that. So that's not going anywhere. We'll poke that one in the hole. And then we're gonna just reattach these bits. So I just need to add some hot glue. And the job will be a good one. Glue guns are lifesavers. There we go, good as new. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now we're going to add a couple more around the side. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to trim the stems down on them using the pliers. And then we're just going to drill a hole where we want the succulents to go in. So I think we'll do one here. Goes in really easily. I don't think I'll even need any glue for these, they can just poke straight in there. There we go. And let's do one here. And one here. This is such an easy one to do and so quick and satisfying. There we go, so that just goes straight in like that. And there we have it. Succulent pumpkin. And I think that looks really cool. I'm really pleased with how that one's turned out. Obviously you could add more if you want to, you could fill in all of these gaps, but I thought that was enough. And that was really simple and easy to do. So there we go, 2 relatively easy, no carve pumpkins for autumn. Let me know in the comments down below which of these is your favourite. And if you have a go at either of them or both of them, I would love to see how you've got on. So please tag me in your pictures. You can use the hashtag Mr. Carrington DIY or tag me on Instagram. My Instagram is Mr. Carrington, Mr. the word and then Carrington, and my Twitter is linked down below as well. All of my social media links are down below, so feel free to go and follow me wherever you would like to. And if you do tag me in your pictures, I will share them on my Instagram stories for everybody to see. I actually can't decide which is my favourite, I think because they're both quite different. I like them both for different reasons. But I think my favourite thing about this one is the hedgehogs. I'm really pleased with how those have turned out. And as you know, I just love succulents. So it's a close call, but I'd be interested to know which is your favourite. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe. I'm posting new videos every single week. And please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Come out a bit. I don't know what you want to see most. See that maybe. Eek. Whoop. Right, let's get you zoomed in so you can see this drilling. You don't want to miss this drilling action. Oh gosh, these are so difficult to get through. Is it just this bit now? Sorry, you can't really see this, can you? Right, let's get you in again. Ouch.